Hi guys. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to enjoy the Christmas holidays with your in-laws. I've got a similar video to this on this topic, and I'm going to link that below. But generally, the most typical concerns around Christmas often revolve around navigating in-law relationships over the holidays. And there's different issues from your mother-in-law wanting all the holidays to herself, or your in-laws monopolizing the holidays, to dealing with in-laws who ignore you over the holidays. It can be quite painful. And there are all kinds of reasons why you'd rather spend the holidays as a nuclear family. In this video, I'll give you 3 tips to help you fully enjoy the holidays despite of or with your in-laws. Now, the study found that out of 2,000 British adults aged between 21 and 38, 10% of them hoped that there would be no room left in their homes for their in-laws to come over for Christmas. And then 15% of them actually had planned to go away with friends over the holidays. And then over 50% of them planned to spend Christmas Day itself sitting in front of the TV watching a classic Christmas movie. More than 33% of them said that they would rather spend the day on social media. Here are 3 simple tips to help you enjoy the holiday season with your in-laws around. Number 1, fully show up. So when it's time to come together and celebrate any events around the Christmas holidays, be fully present. Don't complain, don't bicker, offer help, and don't expect everyone else to bring the food or fun and provide the cleanup. Pitch in. No fighting at the events, keep that in mind, so don't start anything. And that doesn't mean that you should be a doormat at these events. It just means communicate clearly, be kind in your communication as well, and be open. And don't instigate or pick a fight at the gathering. Most importantly, don't expect anyone else or everyone else to do the work to make the event a success. 2, set boundaries. Set boundaries with your in-laws, because it's an important way to make sure that there are no unpleasant surprises on either side. Meaning that both them and yourself should know where you stand on issues that you simply will not change your mind about. So whenever an issue is forced, no one is surprised when you decide that you're standing your ground. And you can begin setting boundaries with your in-laws by stating your expectations and facing any issues head-on, but in a non-confrontational manner. 3, be positive. Stay positive. Remaining positive is ultimately a difficult but necessary answer to the question of how to deal with disrespectful in-laws. And generally, but also specifically over the holidays, it comes up quite a lot. So difficult because there is likely to be something, almost definitely there will be something that you'll see or know that you may have to ignore in order to stay positive. It's necessary because sometimes that may be the only way you can fully enjoy the holidays with your in-laws without any resentment. In-law relationships are tricky. However, there will be positives no matter how difficult any individuals might be. Just be polite, be courteous, and focus on everything that there is to be grateful for. I mean, what else are the holidays for? What else is the reason for the season? Now let's get really specific here and talk about how to set boundaries with your mother-in-law, because that is apparently the biggest issue when it comes to in-laws. That's understandable. So 1, take a stand. Your mother-in-law can't feel like it's easy to walk all over you. Decide on what you will or won't accept and communicate that either through your spouse or directly and diplomatically to her. 2, act quickly. Don't let too much time pass between one incident to the next before you communicate any grievances that you have to your mother-in-law. She will only continue to upset you, whether she means to or not. And waiting too long also means pent-up tension for you, which is unhealthy, and it could lead to an explosion of words which you can't take back. 3, do in-law analysis with your spouse. Dealing with your mother-in-law overstepping her boundaries can be especially tricky if you don't know her very well or understand how she thinks. So get some insight into her personality and the way that she reasons from her own child. And they might be able to give you some understanding about why she treats you the way that she does. 4, agree with your spouse. On the subject of speaking with your spouse, it's ideal to be able to come to some sort of agreement with them on the role of your mother-in-law in your lives. It's necessary for her to feature, but does she have to feature so strongly? Does she meddle? Do you feel uncomfortable and relegated in your own home when she's around? Those questions need to be addressed because it's a priority. Number 5, empathize. Put yourself in your mother-in-law's place. Consider at some point in the future, you too might become someone's mother-in-law. So how would you want to be treated? Are you somehow making things difficult for her? And then remove the perception of competition. In setting boundaries with your in-laws in general, they have to be made to understand that you are not in competition with them. You are, in fact, your spouse's priority, or at least that's what you're supposed to be. There shouldn't be any competition. They should know that you are not in competition with them for your spouse's affection. You're happy to share it with them. So these are some simple tips, some simple things to keep in mind around this time when you're spending so much time with your in-laws in general, and then your mother-in-law specifically. And for more ideas, more strategies on dealing with navigating your mother-in-law at all times of the year, and then also specifically during the Christmas holidays, check the link in my description. Thanks for watching.